Make way for John Smoltz, Fox Sports, and called the World Series last night. Where are you right now, John?
I am still in Houston. Got a little delay waiting to get back to Atlanta so that I can crawl in bed for 3 days and hibernate.
Anybody recognize you at the airport?
Well, I finally pulled a Dan Patrick, and I'm flying private.
Whoa! Look at John Smoltz flying private.
Yeah, I got some buddies from back home in Hawks Ridge. They were kind enough to offer me a ride home, so I took it.
Yeah, but Joe Buck flies private all the time.
He does, but he goes in different directions, you know. Currently, he will be in Arizona, getting ready to call the San Francisco 49ers and Cardinals game tonight. I thought that it would be good every once in a while to maybe show up in the booth between him and Troy and just, you know, pretend like we're continuing what we've done in the World Series.
Just follow Joe Buck around. Wherever he goes, you just stay with him.
That's right. It is good. It's good to be Joe Buck.
You did a great job. You really did a wonderful job, and I'm not surprised. But you know, the beauty of what you do is it's subtle, and that is you don't act like a know-it-all. You sort of talk to us and take us through it, and you have an opinion in the moment, and especially that moment with Zach Greinke, because Paulie sent out a text and he goes, "What would you do right now?" And this is after the home run, and then I said I'd leave in Greinke because he's only thrown 80 pitches. But if I'm changing and taking out Greinke, I'm bringing in Garrett Cole, not Harris. So that was what my call was in the moment. But what did you think after the home run to Rendon? What did you think that A.J. Hinch should have done?
Yeah, you know, first of all, I want to create, and maybe you can help me with this. I want to create an app, a live app, so that we can eliminate all second guessing and we can have live entries to what everyone thinks, especially in the analytical world, on what everybody thinks should happen. So then we've got it documented.
Yeah.
And I think, and then there's no way that somebody could say and be right all the time by second guessing. So we got to create, first of all, we got to create that app because it would put people on notice right away. Say I was right or I was wrong. This is what I would do. But having said that,
but John, we call it first guess, not second guess. We call it first guess, and you got 30 seconds, and then that's it. And therefore,
that's correct.
It's there, and you can show everybody this is what I said in the moment, because that's what we do all the time. You know, Paulie will always send something out, and he'll go, "All right, what do you do?" And you got to do it before, because I see the result. If Harris strikes out the side, I still either would have kept in Greinke or I would have gone to Garrett. I can't lose the World Series, John, with Garrett Cole not getting in the game.
Right, and so it was the only window in the game where Garrett Cole's chances of success were not at his greatest. And the reason I say that is because Garrett Cole's never pitched out of the bullpen. The greatest thing you can do to him is keep him in a controlled inning, meaning start the inning, and then he has the ability to pitch an inning or two at the max. And so that one small window was the only time that Garrett Cole would not have been able to be ready soon enough to come into an environment that is not normal to him. It's similar to what Joe Madden, didn't want to do when he brought in John Lester. He said, "I will not bring in John Lester in the World Series with runners on. I will not do." In the moment, he ended up doing it, and it kind of backfired. But they won the game anyways. With Harris and the job that he had done all postseason, and he was their best reliever, I really believe that was the right move.
Okay.
Given the fact that Greinke, now you're talking about a guy who hadn't gone 5 innings. He was pitching a phenomenal game. And it's easy to say leave him in. And if that was a regular season game, it would be a no-brainer. He would have stayed in. But you're talking about one of the guttiest, best offenses under the gun in Washington, and they were getting a lot of looks. And so I think for what that scenario called, I have no problem bringing in Harris, who really, when you think about the home run he gave up, I mean, how many times is that going to happen on an outside pitch where the ball, hits the foul pole? It's just the nature of the game. But Garrett Cole's opportunity to pitch that next inning would have been great had they even tied it up or only got that one run. So it was really the smallest window where Garrett Cole, that was the only window where he wasn't going to pitch in that game.
What's your lasting memory going to be of this World Series?
I think it's going to be the lasting memory is this truly was one of the greatest team efforts I have ever seen in any sport. When you think about their journey, I mean, it's real easy. I mean, I think about, somebody telling me in 1991, John, you're 2-11 at the first half, and you're going to end up pitching the three most significant games in Braves history. I would have said, yeah, I'm going to check you into some kind of facility right now. And if you just said the same thing with the Washington Nationals at 19-31, you were going to have 5 or 6 elimination games. You're going to win. You're going to come back in every one of those. You're going to beat Josh Hader when he's in the game. And just everything that they went through. I don't know of a greater World Series winner. I mean, I'm sure there's bigger upsets, there's bigger underdogs. Just their journey and how many times they were basically done. Even you can point to L.A. That game was over, and yet they found ways. Howie Kendrick, and my lasting impression of this team is going to be: you can't quantify things anymore in this game. You can't say age. You can't say this is the way you play. Yeah. What I love about baseball is that in a unique way, they did it with starting pitching. They did it with an older team. They basically did it with the it factor of inside that clubhouse that manager and those players knew they had something special. And it's easy to say we never gave up on ourselves, but don't kid yourself for a minute thinking that there weren't a lot of self-doubts going on. But they truly never gave in to them. And, look, they beat a great team. The Houston Astros were a great team, and I don't think anybody gave Washington much of a chance.
Talking to John Smoltz, Fox Sports, fresh off the World Series. We had Kevin Millar last hour. He thinks that Strasburg will opt out but may stay with Washington. He thinks Garrett Cole ends up with the Angels and Rendon ends up with the Rangers. What did you hear?
Yeah, I luckily am not close in that world, but I do hope that whatever happens with Strasburg, that he ends up somehow staying in Washington. I think that would be a great thing. As far as Garrett Cole, I mean, he had the greatest year at the greatest time, and he's going to get the greatest contract. So it's good for him and everything that he has kind of been through. I think all the way back to Garrett Cole, and again, talking about when people were coming out saying, this guy doesn't strike out enough guys, he doesn't do this, he doesn't do that. He was in a different philosophy. Well, they're not saying that now, and he's an organization game changer. But the question will be, what can you surround him with based on that contract, and who, again, will he go to? So, Rendon, you're not going to know if he won the lotto or if he just lost his third dog. He has a quiet demeanor about him. He's one of those great underappreciated players, so he, too, is going to impact an organization somewhere.
We had Joe Girardi on yesterday, and he said something I'd never heard before. We were talking about the controversial play with Trey Turner at first base in Game 6, and he said, why don't we extend the first base bag into foul territory? Let's just stretch it and make it, go into foul territory so the runner has to go into fair territory to get to the bag, right?
Yeah.
What do you think about extending that?
Yeah, I've been saying that for a long time, but I've been accused of a lot of weird ideas to try and solve issues that seem so easily to solve, but have a different look to it. And I really believe the reason that hasn't happened, there's one tricky part to it. First of all, I don't think baseball, in my opinion, may want to look like that or be kind of compared to softball, but I don't know. That could be a wrong guess. But then you have the trickiness of the ball going over the bag. You'd have to have a line over the bag, because that's one of the arguments I heard of why it wouldn't be as easily done, because then you got to determine where that ball went over. The bag would be in foul territory. So, yeah. But I totally agree with that. I think it would alleviate the essence of one of the most controversial rules. The letter of the law clearly states what it is, but then it becomes a judgment call. And, of course, when a million people look at one thing, they're going to see it a bunch of different ways. So that would help.
We had Dave Pallone on yesterday, and the former baseball umpire. He did not like my called third strike if I was an umpire.
He didn't.
No.
I think I would like it. Let me see. What do you got?
Hee-ha!
Oh, yeah.
He said it was
Easy.
too long. Because he said he would always go, Fin! So
Can I just tell you what can I just tell you with this whole and let the kids play and enthusiasm and emotion.
Yeah.
I think that we need more umpires like Naked Gun, where you got the umpire behind home. Why not? Let's let the umpires have emotion. Let's have the pitchers have emotion. Let's just have a basic dance party when we get a chance to do something great. So I'm saying, let the umpires really let it go, and it wouldn't be too long for me if I struck somebody out of the mound. I'd love to watch the umpire kind of do his thing.
No, I know, but we're worried about showing people up, John. You can't show anybody up.
So here's my beauty of this. All right, so are pitchers just more mature then? Why aren't pitchers doing it? So if hitters get the luxury of being able to let their emotion and let some pitchers be able to do it.
Oh, I'm fine with that. The problem I have is if I show you up as a pitcher, then you go, I'm going to hit you. If Eckersley wants to punt,
it's an easy solve. So imagine the pitcher being able to walk down the line with the guy as he's walking towards the dugout as he struck out, staring him down. I mean, that would be okay, right?
John, I'm okay with all of this. The problem is baseball's old school and it needs to be new school. Every other sport is evolving and having more fun.
Solved it.
I'm okay. If you want to carry your damn bat around the bases, like what was it, Serrano did in Major League, I'm okay with that too. I don't care.
You got to YouTube after we're done.
Okay.
YouTube me mocking Carlos Perez with the Montreal Expos. Okay, it's must-see TV.
Okay.
Nobody thought I was going to be able to do it. It made CNN Play of the Day back in the day.
Okay.
And, he had a little shimmy after every time he struck some bat. And it was fun, and it was this, and it was, guys would laugh. Well, I said, well, watch. I told my teammates, I'm going to do it to him when I strike him out. They said, you don't have the gut. I said, well, you watch. The very next time I'm going to do it. And I do this mock shimmy, and the entire dugout for the Expos was on the ground laughing. And so he told Eddie Perez, our catcher, he said, when I had to face him 5 days later in Montreal, he said, when I strike out Smoltz in Montreal, I'm going to sit down on the mound. So Eddie told me that he was going to sit down on the mound. I think I had a 9 or 10 pitch at bat. I fouled off everything emergency. I was not striking out. Luckily, he didn't sit on the mound. See, it's all in good fun.
I know, but you guys take it far too seriously. Like I'm okay with celebrating something. Baseball doesn't allow you to celebrate great things because we're always worried about how does this look. Right?
Well, we're going to find out. We're going to find out if some pitchers decide to have a little fun, I guess, on the mound.
Hey, you did well, and you'll probably be at the Sports Emmys there. Maybe you'll get a Sports Emmy with that performance. You were as good as Strasburg. Let's put it that way.
Well, that is a fine and high compliment, and I can just tell you that I emptied my passion bucket here in October, and I don't have anything left. I just left it on the field. How about that?
You're the Greg Maddux of baseball analysts.
I tell you, I am looking forward to
not doing anything.
to not doing anything for a while.
Safe travels back, John. Thanks for joining us as always. All right, buddy. Thank you. That's John Smoltz. He is a professional.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV. Stream for free on BR Live or download the Dan Patrick Show app.